5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Alright, so here we go. Slopdop versus tcbtrio. So for anyone who doesn't know, the Pit Percent tournament has just started pretty much. We have gone through, I believe, 2 matches. And if you do exclamation mark bracket, you can see the current standings. So just in a pre-pit here, prologue, there's gonna be just like a lot of text bashing. Just little small optimization that a lot of people can save a decent portion of time over others. A lot of Pit Percent is going to be a lot of luck. However, we are going to see what these runners have in mind for their own strategies of, you know, what kind of items they might want to buy, how they want to go about the pit. Just little small things that could change the course of the run. Some older strategies would include buying Fire Burst in the 1-2 shop for, you usually buy like 3, which would cost you 21 coins. Some runners will opt to get something like the Shroom Shake, which I personally don't like doing that if I'm gonna buy items, because if I feel that if I need, then I'm probably doing something wrong. Pretty much just for like the first 6.5 minutes roughly, the runner's gonna be tied, and then that's pretty much when things will start to get kicked off, or their movement starts to change, how they play the game. Like, a lot of people will go out of their way to grab a couple of mushrooms to get a couple extra points, which isn't that bad of an idea. Each mushroom really only loses like 2 seconds to go out of your way and grab. So these guys are just gonna quickly run off the top of Flipside Tower and jump off the left instead of taking the elevator, because that way they do not have to go through the very, very, very lengthy process going all the way around and just like not being fast through all the elevators. Now they're gonna head back here, and for these little elevators, every elevator except for the main elevator that brings you to the top of flipside and or flopside tower, you can actually press 2 to skip the cutscene, which tcbtrio did not do. So, Slopdop already entering the first door, now having the friendly conversation with Count Buck's minions. Unfortunately, we will only see them once more throughout the run, and that will be after Chapter 1. Too bad, Mario just doesn't save the world this run. Leaves everyone to dry. So both of these runners, I believe, they're both playing on English. And I do believe they are both playing on English Virtual Console, which is the most recent release of the game. There is a couple of different versions of the English version. There's Revision 0, Revision 1, and then Revision 2. There's a couple different glitches that are patched in after Revision 0. I think Revision 1 was actually a bit of, they had a lot of mistakes in there, and Revision 2 kind of just like fixed up those extra mistakes. So now entering 1-1, Slopdop is going to avoid grabbing a coin here because it actually saves roughly 10 frames on the Stovius. Look at this. You use Tippy to unlock the door. I'll just ignore this. Good. Right here, we're gonna flip here so we can get both the Shell Shock and probably the Mushroom, yes. Some people opt to skip the Mushroom here. Slopdop is also gonna flip here to grab the Fire Burst, which will be used later. I'm gonna flip here, get the 4 coins. With the 4 coins, Slopdop will probably pick up a couple extra, and this will help him buy items later if he so chooses to do so. So he's gonna kick the Scoopa Shell. You're gonna get a couple of extra. You're gonna get around 2,900 points here, which already is, like, considering this is like the second room in the game, like that's actually a lot of points to start off with. Slopdop gonna skip the coin block. Take the hill. We're also going to be relying quite a lot on item drops. Some useful, some not. However, a lot of the items you can grab can also serve other purposes, such as you can heal poison with like even just like little small healing items. You can use like attack items to help defeat certain enemies faster, such as the red chomps in 98. a lot of different uses you can use for actually a lot of items. I actually learned a small thing. I was watching Reed, and he, interestingly enough, used a POW block on some of them, on some enemies, and it was quite effective. Also, tcbtrio getting a fast flower here. This could actually be very helpful if he does the grind correctly here. A fast flower and a slow flower both give triple the amount of points. So if he can combo this correctly, he can get a lot. It's really difficult to get a good grind with a fast flower though, because it's pretty hard to control. Slopdop also exited the grind with roughly 35,000, I believe, yes, and you got a Peachy Peach. So even though tcbtrio did not get a full 30,000 points, it is still quite effective just to have the overall fast flower, and he got a little bit extra coins that Slopdop did not. Slopdop is going to finish up 1-1 here, and tcbtrio is going to finish his way through the last room. Slopdop opting not to save, which is pretty understandable. Right here in the very beginning of the level, they're going to flip, take the little shortcut here, and then they'll come out another door and climb up the ladder. Sometimes runners will opt to get the 3 coins and the mushroom in the 4 blocks in that first room. As you can see, tcbtrio is getting the extra mushroom. He is a little bit low on points. Slopdop's just going to stay in 3D here just to make sure he doesn't get hit by any of these. I believe this spiny romps. I just call them the spiky ball dudes. Going the pipe, and Slopdop's probably gonna slide on the hill, yeah, just to gain a little bit of extra speed, and then he's gonna talk to Red here. Red's gonna be like, "Oh my God, save me! I'm stuck in 3D." Then bring you back to 3D, ask what your favorite color is, and if you answer wrong, he's gonna kick you out of his house. Ah, yes, the bonds, or I don't know, the friends you make along the way. Now, if these runners were on JP or an earlier version of English, they could choose to do GBS. However, they did not take that risk, which is very understandable. You don't want to. I think a lot of people would rather not like crash or use a bunch of time in marathon setting, or not a marathon setting, a tournament setting. So Slopdop's gonna go in and get throw. Cool little strat here. You just flip past these guys. There's another strat too where you can just like, you can get hit in a very specific way, so you can run through a couple of the guys and have optimal speed. Quickly reveal the door. Now he's gonna hit the rope. Oh. Now, Slopdop's gonna throw here to. I used to spend a lot of my time optimizing, hitting that switch. It was there was quite a way you could do it where it could like skim the bottom and just like go right through it pretty much. Trio is also gonna come up here and get. Do these runners have in mind for the rest? Because I don't think I saw either of the runners go into desert shop or whatever. So now their only other option is really to either go get items from the Flipside shop, which is a decent amount more expensive, or they can opt to just wait until the pit and hope for good drops, or buy some from Flynn. Slopdop just saying, talk to Green. Like, you know what? I'll put the bridge down for you. He seems like a much nicer guy than that red fella. Until he asks what your favorite color is, no matter what you say, he's just gonna say, well, your favorite color sucks. And just like that, we are done with 1-. So in the beginning of 1-3 here, we're gonna see something very, very interesting. We're gonna see the runners using a fast flower to actually help them gain a bunch of extra points. Section. The Slopdop flip is gonna hit the farthest bottom left, farthest top left, and that block. And he's gonna get a fast flower, which will again triple points. So all these guys get some extra points and extra points. Skip that block because he doesn't need coach room. That will save him roughly like 2 or 3 seconds. Now, you won't see this too much until probably 1-2, or not 1-2, 2-1. But you're going to notice that the runner is going to be turning around as they enter the doors. This is because the closer that you are to the middle of the door, and the closer that your pixel is to the middle of the door, the faster the door opens and the faster it closes. Overall, this can save a lot of time throughout any amount of run, if done correctly. Now, Slopdop is going into O-Chunks. O-Chunks is a very, very frustrating boss fight to many. There's also a soft lock you can get if you do the fight in a really weird way. The usual strategy is just hold up in the corner and just shake. There is a couple of different ways you can do this with the stylish moves. That one just happens to be the easiest and most consistent. I also forgot to mention this, but the runners are going to be making this squig. The runners made the squig shoot out a coconut, so they were able to jump off it, and in the process, not have to hit the switch and take the really, really long panels. Those take forever. Also, Slopdop coming up on another trick here. Ice Turbo Skip. I'm gonna try to pick up the Ice Turbo. I'm gonna freeze it. Then you'll notice that the Ice Turbo gets a lot higher up. I'm just gonna wait till the Ice Turbo's at its peak of its animation and jump off it and go into the door. And there's also another trick that's coming up that I don't think Slopdop's gonna do. You can actually skip this, the cutscene that's coming up here. If you run on there's like a really weird seat you can run on this like dragon statue thing, and you can actually skip this. It was I believe like 10-ish seconds. Ooh, tcbtrio getting thrown. Phase chunks, phase up, baby. Sorry, I got kind of carried away. This little meme in the SPM community that O-Chunks just kind of like throws you, then he like does like his like trick shot dance moves or whatever. tcbtrio having a little bit of trouble on the fight, but he got through it, which is good. Now Slopdop is in 1-4. There's not really too much for 1-4. Since a lot of it is really just waiting and cutscenes. However, there are two main time saves here that you can do. First one being key early, and the second one being the small fractal optimizations. I don't really know if we have a name for them yet. The tcbtrio going for ice turtle skip. Fortunately, missed the statistical round and take the sprint. Slopdop is coming up on key early. I think Slopdop does key early. I could be wrong. I guess not. Essentially, you can go out of bounds, and the key that is in that room is always loaded in until you grab it. So using an out of bounds glitch, get it like that. Also, Slopdop was going for a strat there. I don't really know what to call it, but it's been around for a really long time, since before key early or whatever, where you can just drop off the ladder, you can hit push with throw. Small little time save, but it's a pretty cool trick. But yeah, this key right here is always loaded until you grab it. So, always in the exact same position. Relatively easy to figure out. The trick was actually originally discovered by NMFlash8 and JCR back in 2019. We were all in a VC and we were discussing ideas. One thing led to another. tcbtrio going a little bit out of his way to get those extra points. But I think that's a good thing, because he kind of has to get more points or else he'd have a chance of soft walking. Upcoming here is also the Ladder of Death, which everyone, for whatever reason, really struggles with. And I guess that's what we call the Ladder of Death. A lot of people are just consistently fall off it. Oh, excuse me. tcbtrio also opting not to go for key early. I'm going to hit this in the order of third block, first block, fourth block, second block. Which will load the staircase. And we will see how smooth his staircase is. Also, a friendly reminder, the SPM community, and you want to see more of this, follow the Twitch channel right here, subscribe to the YouTube, join our Discord. We have some good talks with SPM in there every day. Makes sense because it is an SPM speedrun server. So, Slopdop is currently on Fractal. Fractal was originally a robot that was meant to help the four heroes on their quest to save the world, but unfortunately he got possessed by dementia. Or like his program corrupted or something like that. Now he stands in our way and he really... And this is the part of 1-4 that really makes it such a long level. You have to wait approximately 40 seconds in this fight just to wait for Fractal to attack you. his weak points. As you can see, Slopdop is just standing here, maybe taking a bathroom break or something, I don't know. You can do anything during that time, like check Twitter, call your girlfriend, have a romantic dinner date with her, get a college degree, you can come back and then it's like, oh, he's finally catching up with it. Now, Slopdop's jumping on his back after his romantic dinner date and his college degree. Now, the runners are going to stay in the very specific spot to make the fractals. So, hold on to one of the fractals so he can climb himself up on Fractail, so that he can jump back onto his back and only do this in one cycle without having to wait a second. Or I don't know. You have to wait another 40 seconds to get back on his back. You can do it without the fractal as well, but it is a lot more. It is a decent amount more difficult, I would say. And just like that, we're done with Fractail. And moving on into pre-chapter 2, which in most people's cases was like the most boring part. So Slopdop just kind of stood there waiting for Lumia to actually talk to him. For Lumia just kind of blabbers on. She doesn't really have much important to say. She's like, oh, the hero, blah blah blah, the Dark Noxus, but my boyfriend left. Upset, and it's, oh, please, shut up.
Yeah.
Mario had a good nap. Yeah, tcbtrio had a bit of trouble hopping on Fractal, but he did manage to get him. So we're back here with Counterplex minions for the last time in this run. Gladly. Oh, and tcbtrio. Well, that was kind of risky. He almost fell through, but he did manage to get back on Fractail, and it was actually a little bit more optimal than Ops. One cycle. And just like that, both runners are done with Chapter 3. Slopdop is now again in pre-Chapter 2, but here's the thing with pre-Chapter 2. You're actually technically in Chapter 8, so right here you're in a room in 8-1. And there is a very, very specific ledge that if you could get on, you could theoretically grab a key and enter Chapter 8 extremely early. That ledge on the right, you could if you could get up there, go through the tunnel, grab the key, come back into this room that Slopdop is in right now, go to the right, enter that door, you would be in a Chapter 8. There's no current way to use like that skip, even if it was possible, but it's still interesting to see what kind of rules we can. Slopdop just run to the left here. Oh, what's up? Find out there's nowhere to go, and the Koopa's like, yeah, well, it's the end of the line. I guess we might as well go the other way. Then he figures out, nope, because they trapped him, and now they're gonna fight for something. Just kidding, they're just hitting him. Now Peach is like, no, I don't like you, go away. I'm gonna say some words under my breath and teleport away. Absolute gangster. A reminder, if you want to check out Bracer's channels, you gotta look at their Twitch there, or I could take a hand. There's a link to their Twitch channels. Yeah. And again, friendly reminder, if you want to see the bracket and see future potential matchups, you can check the link I just that was posted there. Now right here, Slopdop's gonna use prior knowledge to know he knows he has to go down here and he has to cook his fire burst to make it soup so he can feed it to Peach. So usually a normal player would already have to go up there and be like, oh, I don't really know what to do. Let's go. There's speedruns. They already know that all they have to do take the fire burst, soup, and then boom, done. Feed it to Peach, collect Peach, and not use it. Circle of life in Super Paper Mario. Slopdop is going to return pipe here, so everyone through all those elevators, so those elevators take a really long time. In the return pipe, I remember timing it, it's only like 10 seconds. I also want to mention that Slopdop is doing really good on points now, like 59,000 years.
Oh. Yeah.
Gonna feed the soup to Peach. Gonna crumble and moan and be like, like, oh, I'm awake now. Who are you? And hi, Mario, I guess.
Yeah.
I should also probably mention this, that as of the current moment, you also have another race going on. It's not being restreamed because I'm not restreamed. We're at the same time. But there is a current match going on between Teddy and Sonic. They're not too far behind these guys, only 3-ish minutes. I don't really actually know their Twitch channel names, but if you want, you can check out the SPM directory and see what's up, see how their race is going. So the funny thing right here is that you get Peach, and then you just don't use her. And it's kind of annoying because you have to switch to Mario. But yeah, you really only use Peach like one more time throughout the entire run. Or like 2 more times. And theoretically, you could skip using it is just a much simpler task to use Peach. Level up here is gonna throw the oh, you leveled up. You're gonna throw that squiglet right there so we can use it as a platform. Jump off of and then use it yeah, through the heart though. A little bit faster. Usually you'd have to flip, go onto like the platform on like the far left, and then you'd have to use Peach, and then you'd have to switch back to Mario eventually. Actually, maybe you wouldn't switch back to Mario because you'd have to use Peach and so Slopdop's gonna return pipe, and he's gonna enter chapter 2. Can I just mention how much of a banger this theme is?
Okay.
Ooh, catch card. If that were like 100%, that could actually look really useful. However, it is not. So, probably on this pipe. I'll walk the squigs and squig and the squiglets. Usually you want to stand a little bit farther to the right to let's see this. However, it does work. Quickly grab that key and walk forward a little bit. And we're coming up on a trick I like to call jump. There's a lot of different ways you can do this, but you can wait for, you have to just wait for this guy. Some people opt to grab a lot of other people opt to grab the Pal Pills. You can go off that Goomba and get to the pipe instead of doing Peach to get across. Not just using Peach, but also just going through this room, avoiding the pair of Goomba. And then going into the pipe, using Peach there, and then using Peach to go all the way back to the left. And finally, after 10 long years, you get to the pipe. I honestly have zero idea how much that saves, but it saves a lot. The difficult part about not using the Pal Pills here is that it's very difficult to avoid the pair Goombas. Yo, that was actually a sick dog by Slopdop. Okay, I've never done that personally. You're just finally return typing and come back into chapter 2. I would say there's about a 3-minute difference here between runners. From the pipe. And from here he's gonna hit the invisible block in this. Now he's gonna kill this guy, and he's going to get Boomer.
Me.
Boomer's gonna ask them about a million questions. What am I watching? I was kind of feeling back there. I kind of missed it, but they kill the squig to get some more points. And the teacher is just gonna and come get. Gonna use Peach. These can be really weird with Mark. And now Slopdop is going to go into the pit. Oh, one left. Usually you jump off to the right because that is a decent amount faster. No, tcbtrio is just a jump. There is actually a backup, but I'm not sure if he knows it. Seems to be falling into this admin process that I mentioned earlier. Slopdop also coming on a little bit of a small trick here. It saves roughly 30 seconds. But he's gonna put down Boomer. He's gonna throw it up at the switch top. Very precise, and it takes a little while to master. Having a little bit of trouble with it, but it is still a really big time save even if you get it like 4th or 5th try. So there's a couple different strategies you can actually use with it. Also, Cats is rating SPM community stream with a party of 16. Sorry, Cats, I've not been being. So since Slopdop is having a lot of trouble with it, he's just gonna often go back and do it the other way, which is understandable. I mean, don't really have much to lose right now. Will he make it? Please, no. I was really hoping tcbtrio would actually make that jump. That would have been a really cool thing. I'm pretty much 100% sure at the moment that tcbtrio will probably take care of that slot shooting. Also using a pretty interesting, I actually think that's a really sick strategy. You can actually pick up those guys with throw. And, well, throw them. I'll end up getting the second Peachy Peach. If he's being a little bit stupid. Not letting Slopdop do. Hit switch. Hit. But depending on what TC Trio does here. You can make a lot of time of them. And now we do enter the pit. First room is really basic. It's just squigs. Second room, Goombas. Actually, really nice layout for the Goombas. They spawn like a really nice pattern, so even if he doesn't get the up here, you can just put it down. So for the pit, every room is gonna be the exact same. Or not every room, but like every room's layout is consistent. Every single. The enemies are also consistent, but their spawn places are not. Same thing with the key. The key is RNG dependent, so you can actually get bad luck and not get the key. Be a little bit frustrating. I guess gotta go with it. The tcbtrio is actually go for the fast strat here. That's Slop, man. Something that a lot of people get wrong with the trick that tcbtrio is doing right now is you actually want to have momentum fast. So what I like to do is I like to line up with the vent, and then I can do like a jump, and then just like I can jump. I can do a small jump, and then a full jump, and then at the height of that jump, I can. tcbtrio still did get it, and that is saving a lot of time on Slopdop. No, tcbtrio is in the pit. And depending on how their RNG is, tcb could catch up to Slopdop really quickly, actually. So usually, the enemies that you're going to be fighting will have something in common. This isn't always the case, but I feel like most of the time they are. After they appear in the type of enemies they are. For example, the room that Slopdop is in right now, these are all enemies that only appear in Chapter 3, or at least the Goombas only Chapter 3. But I do believe that the Poison Turbo also makes Chapter 3. So ideally these runners both need to be at 60k by room 19, or they have a potential to soft lock. But if they don't reach room 25, if they reach room 25 with less than 60,000 points, then they are pretty much soft locked unless they have an item to get them out. The Slopdop's already on the first set of 10 floors. The pit doesn't always necessarily, like, the farther you get in, it's not necessarily, like, the harder it is. But there's a lot of, like, different things that can happen. Like, what enemy has to keep, what enemies are spawning. Like, the door location, I forgot to mention this earlier, the door location is random. However, there is more common stuff that can spawn. Sometimes in the pit, you also just have to accept the fact that you're gonna get hit fast. Use the tcbtrio there over here. Turbos can be quite annoying. You shoot they make you sleep or poison, or whatever. And it makes you very vulnerable to attacks. tcbtrio is a little bit lower on health right now, only 7 HP. You're gonna have to slow down and wait for the enemy to come to him. Which, sometimes it's definitely the move. But sometimes it's all very complicated. Ooh, Slopdop actually had a good strategy there. Was placing the bomb, still, and then he ended up comboing all through. Trio is done his first set of 10 rooms. Slowly actually catching up a little bit with Slopdop. Much nicer confidence. Slopdop's coming into room, I believe, where these Buzzy Beetles and Twigs. You can actually kick a Buzzy Beetle, and since the Buzzy Beetles, unlike normal Beetles, when they go off to a certain extent, they won't despawn. So you can use this to combo enemies when you be able to focus your energy on that one of the ring. Right here, this room that Slopdop's in is a really frustrating room. If you don't get the key from like the 2 Squigs or the Koopas, you have to kill the Koopa. If you're not at 60k, then you cannot damage to the Koopa. Also, tcbtrio is a bit of level up here, which is good because that means he's from not. I think Slopdop was thinking about using a Fire Burst, but I think he didn't know he didn't. See, Slopdop ran in an era where we were like you could buy like the free Fire Bursts all the time, no matter what, from the old town shop. So it's kind of hard to get out of that muscle memory of going to your inventory and using it. Please. Hold up in room 2 here is Boo and Gloomba room. These boos can be really annoying. Just because the way they work is takes a little. To notice that Slopdop didn't actually wait a little bit. Use Boomer there. Actually, they can make him explode. That's because these boos hitboxes take a little while to actually twist. Also, Slopdop's getting a lot of really nice items. On Ice Storm. Beach. That's a honey jar. tcbtrio getting a really nice key for the Koopa and Tyler. I'm actually surprised he's in really tight space. The turbos are really hard to kill from. Specifically in the pit where you don't really have much moving room, it's very frustrating. Again, Slopdop is really nice on points. 84k right now. Rolling is just waiting to get. Oh my god. Poor guy. tcbtrio is actually catching up. He's actually made like a couple of rooms on him. I believe he's only in 7 rooms on Slopdop right now. Kill these 2 squids, and hopefully he doesn't have to get the Koopa. When he doesn't, that is very nice. And this is honestly like a really nice spawn for Slopdop. Having all these guys together in a room like this is very nice because the room itself is very big. And a very nice spawn for tcbtrio's room as well. Usually these guys can be very, very annoying. So there's actually, I think there's 5 of them that close together. I mean that. I'm gonna make sure to wipe out all of them. These are very good idea. Also 6669. Let's go. So hammer bros in the pit are really annoying. And something that bothers me is when they throw their hammers, they still go through the ground, but sometimes they'll go through the roof. But the hammers going through the roof is really inconsistent. You can never really tell what's gonna happen. Also, Turby Leaf, very, very fun item. My dog's bark. Anyways, very useful item for 100%. However, in this category, really only lowers. Oh my god, it raises your defense for hits. It's actually a very nice spawn for Slip. I mean, both those guys at the bottom having the door and like what I like to think like the left quadrant of the is very nice because taking a pipe in. Very lucky spawn from Slopdop. That is very nice having those 3 guys like really tight together, so that they'll actually attack him. And if you go through the walls, it's a lot easier to hit him. Place. Gonna wait for this curse yet, just to make sure he's not slowed down. Because slow curse is very upsetting. An attempt to lock jump, but I don't think you can top player unless you're on the very left already. Slopdop has made a pretty good lead for himself currently. Approximately 8 rooms. Bit of a weird situation. Kind of difficult to get around because a lot of the time, like, you don't know what's on the other side. We'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I have to check on my dog. So Slopdop in a very... oh no, it's not. But this room is still kind of trash because the Magic Koopas are like some of the worst enemies in the entire pit. Because they can shoot their projectiles, and like even if they haven't even, it doesn't even look like they fully summoned it yet, but they still cast it. Or like it gives it like it's like a full second that you wait until they like throw the projectiles. Or when it looks like they're gonna throw the projectiles, they'll throw it like before 20 health on TCBtrio stream. Very funny, I know. Very funny and original. Luckily, the Robus is indeed on the top and not right by the pipe. If it were right by the pipe, then we would have had a very serious situation here. Fine, Ice Storm from Slim here. For future rooms, of course, these on enemies. And here we are in the club room. The clubbers in this game, they have a lot of health. So it's really hard to like actually build them in like a tight space unless you're behind them. If you're behind them, you can just like jump in like their little back reach and like catch yourself under a roof and just bounce up and down really, really fast. Interesting situation for Slopdop. Getting hit and caught right between both of them. Ooh, unfortunately, tcbtrio did fall onto the Persia. This will unfortunately make him run slower for, I believe, like 30-ish seconds. Unfortunately, stupid camera guys. These guys are always terrible in every way. Like the tile would fit on Slopdop's screen. Whoa, that's a really good key for this room. Would have been a 10-second room if that cursor was not just all in his business. So interesting situation. Slopdop here. Triple room. This one is fun. Usually because the guys aren't usually that close together, but like their different abilities can really get a person. So the Club A and Magic of the Room is one of the least favorite rooms of NES. Yeah. However, Slopdop did get an insanely good key. Whoa, that was actually an insanely good key. What the heck? Usually that room can be quite painful because all of those enemies do 3 damage to hit you with either the projectiles or each of them. Which can cause like a lot of pain. A lot of damage loss, or a lot of health loss. Ninjas, I forgot to mention. There's some of the other notorious enemies. Mostly because you can't have you don't have 100% of killing them at any point. tcbtrio leveling up. Back to full health again. Up in the big room. These guys, I like these guys because they're really easy to kill off of, and each one of them gives 500. Getting like a quick 2,500-ish. 1,000 points. I'm actually not sure. I have to do the math. Yeah, like 2,000, roughly. Both these areas are getting really nice key drops right now. I'm gonna see Slopdop here do the quick fast strat for the kill. Unfortunately, the only way to kill these dry bones is with like bombs or like they're kind of like you can't really just like jump on them and kill them. Doesn't really work. I'm just gotta hope that these unless it's like a really early dry bone. Then so in the room slot out there. Usually you just want to go find the curse, yeah, and you just kind of wait for the dark boost to come to you. I find it really funny because in the flop side pit where all the enemies are like dark versions of themselves, the dark boos are just called dark boos. The funny thing, Tippy in one of her 100% speedruns actually would, I think it was a race between her and Yoshi, and every single time she would see a dark boo card in the flop side card shop, she'd buy it. I thought that was really cool. And everyone in chat would always be go crazy, they'd be like, oh my god, dark boo again, let's go! Also in Daisy room right now. This room can be dangerous because not only is there regular crazy daisies, there's also the Amazy Daisy, which can do 10 damage. Which if you're already low on health, this can be very dangerous. The Amazy Daisy is also a really annoying enemy to kill sometimes. Dealing with magic blocks now and oh god, that voice crack. But the magic blocks can be really annoying because sometimes it can take a little while for them to spawn in. And if you flip, you can get them trapped. No, Slopdop's entering this. The 60s are actually an interesting set of floors. I don't actually like the 60s. I think 62 is fun because you're mostly just chasing around with the dragon. It kind of makes it like perfect so that the dark boost come to you. And you're standing there, and it's really makes it a lot easier to kill. As you saw there, that's a perfect example of that, where you healed from the dry bone so that all the dark beasts. I'm actually surprised Clubba didn't try to kill the Slopdop didn't try to kill the Clubba. But it didn't matter because the one didn't have to get anyways. On this room right here, we are introduced to yellow Tyloids. Yellow Tyloids don't have the most HP out of any of the Tyloids, but they do move the fastest and they can make them the hardest to deal. However, it was not too big of a deal here. Slopdop got a very nice heat in the room. There's a quick moment to kill the... At the double camera guy room. These guys suck. The tcbtrio going to talk to Flim. Maybe buy an item if you can. Buy a fire burst. And else as well. Mighty Tonic. Mighty Tonic is it actually doubles the attacks, so it can actually be very helpful for later range. Buy a block as well. Block assures that you will not take damage for a couple of. Got all of these guys. 51. You're introduced to our final version of the Squigs and Squiglets. I believe. I don't even actually know what it's called. Squinker or something. Funny thing, actually, when you're between like you actually cannot use your. There's just really no place to put them. Oh, the pig got stuck on the pipe. Sometimes that'll happen. Oh, I was just leaving, I believe, room 69. Now I'm in the 70s. Here we're in the cleft area. Just two different. I don't think there might be a third type of cleft I'm not thinking of. But I believe these are the two main kinds used throughout the game. So I think it's have to read. Can't be wrong. So in this room, you can actually do a trick called Super Boomer. The room Slopdop, you can use something called Super Boomer, which is where you essentially just wait for Boomer to be ready to explode. And at the last moment, you can flip back to 2D, and will, if you did it correctly, it'll hit all the enemies. Same like, or whatever that Boomer's on. flag cube. So the Rust Pups are kind of like the Magic Koopas, where their projectiles keep going even. So it can lead to like a bunch of different problems after if they're almost no. Which can be quite frustrating, but they're still a lot more manageable than the Magic Koopas. Also, a nice level from tcbtrio that will give him more health, and it'll let him have higher attack power. Here, Slopdop isn't enough. Blue ones this time. And try to take out I believe it's logs. There we go, just like that, he has the key now. tcbtrio is also now in the Amaze Daisy room. I believe he actually sneaks up on the Amaze Daisy. You probably get a nice, easy kill on him. Sometimes it's better just to be a little bit more careful. Doesn't need to kill him anyways though, because you got the Q. I'm gonna flip here just to be safe. Slopdop is 79. Just usually just like flip, kill the guys to the bottom. Then you can just corner them and put them all together. Boomer actually doesn't, or Super Boomer actually doesn't work with enemies that can flip from 2 to 3. Mostly because that during they have invincible turns during their flipping enemy. Oh my god, what a nice key in 81. Holy crap. That is insanely good. This room is such a... Getting a first key like that is... Magic bolts? For whatever reason, the magic bolts are actually like separated a lot here for no reason. However, they did come together at a perfect time so that they can level with you. Well, I was gonna opt to take one of these guys out, so yeah. what's it called? What are they called? Manias. Spinner dudes. Oh, we got a mystery box. Mystery box can actually be a multiple items. Its biggest use really in any speedrun is just to take mirror and or the mistake. Fortunately for Slopdop, the guy who had the key. I think this guy. This is another guy. But I don't think this guy had the key. Still losing a decent portion. Going to 85 here. This room's a little bit annoying. These guys are poison. They launch their balls at you. You can get like trapped and comboed really easily. Luckily for Slopdop though, he already has a lot of healing. The most useful game right shroom because it heals poison and 1 HP. That wasn't really sure to do like duck jump over him, which I think it was pretty fun. Now we're into 86, which this room is very, very infamous. This is like the god of run killers in percent. If you don't get a good key, pretty much confirmed run. Again, Slopdop with all these really good keys, man. This is actually a really nice run. Yeah, with an 86 like that, your run is like alive, usually. Ninjas because Nintendo's like, yo, what if we made this room full of guys who don't work because it's all cringe and stupid and bad? And the other guy's like, yo, you're such a genius, man! The Slopdop's gonna come up here. Use Shell Shock. And since there's so many enemies in this room, it's really and they don't have that much HP, it's really easy just to go off them, kill and get a lot. So as you can see, you can actually see the points, and it's like upwards of like 3,000, 4,000 now. They actually reached 5,000 at the end. However, they did not get dropped by any of the enemies killed, which is really, really unfortunate. And now Slopdop's heading into his last 10 rooms, while tcbtrio is just entering his last 30. The 90s in themselves are not too hard of a set of rooms, but they can be a bit of a Slopdop's getting really nice keys in all 2 rooms. He wants to get nice keys. The good key in this room is just absolutely fantastic. But again, it's just another ninja room with a straight luck bait. Like even just in killing them. Ooh, Slopdop taking an interesting choice in using a mystery box. And you got a Thunder Rage. That's actually a bad item at all to get for that. None of them have the key, but that's still like a good portion of the room wiped out a lot more efficiently than what probably could have happened. Especially with the orange ninja. The orange ninjas are like the worst thing to ever exist. Old pistol. They're literally the worst thing of all time. 94, this room is actually not that bad. Just fire, I believe it's just Fire Bros and the... And again, a very nice key. Like, Slopdop's a very nice key. Oh. Slopdop tried placing Boomer, but it didn't really work because the guy pushed him off before he placing him. The 95. It's not usually that bad of a room, but if the enemies are placed in such a way, it can become quite. Because you want like all the spiky guys on the block, because you can't jump on them. Oh, and tcbtrio game over. Fortunate. Sorry, dude. I just want to say, tcbtrio is doing great. Please drop him some support. Slopdop now coming up on room 97. Very hard room. Honestly, the hardest room in the game. And you know, this has ruined the lives of many. And wait a second. Slopdop's gonna use a store. Kill 3 of these guys. And luckily he got the keeper. And he got a Shroom Shake just to let it run his thing. Now in room 99 you can just like wait for the magic blocks to spawn pretty much anywhere. And there's a lot of them, so you can make them spawn like at that same. Create some pretty dangerous pose. Right here, I can't really hear it. Like, a lot of the time they'll just be like stacked together, you can't even tell. And very nice. GG to Slopdop for making it to room 100. Pretty much the Ractail fight is really similar to the Fractail fight, except Ractail, instead of it being 3 hits for him to like have to do a cycle change, you have to do 10. And if you hit him by one of the projectiles by the enemies, it's 10 damage. I have to go to the bathroom. And I am back. GG's to Slopdop. tcbtrio did good. And don't forget to finish on the race time slop if you can hear the stream. And according to my timing, the final time is a 1:33:04. GG's to Slopdop.